So I watched one of my first ever DC movies yesterday, and I thought I would make a very quick video explaining what I thought about it. So what I thought is that I absolutely am going to tell you that in a minute. So, a little technicality there, it's not like my first DC movie. I've seen Aquaman before, and that's literally the only DC movie I've sat through the whole of. So, I made the conscious decision to decide to watch them all through, or at least most of them, starting with the Batman trilogy, then going into like Man of Steel, Batman vs Superman, and just, I don't know what the technical order is that I should do, please let me know down below. But I decided to start with the Batman trilogy because why not? So the start of the Batman trilogy is obviously Batman Begins from 2005, and I didn't know what people thought on that movie before I decided to watch it, because I feel like it's a good idea when you're going to watch something for the first time, and you don't know what people think about it, to keep it that way until you finished it. I did that with Star Wars Rebels, for example. I ended up liking it, and it turns out not like the whole of the fandom like Star Wars Rebels. So I did it with this just so if people didn't like it, I wouldn't go in thinking it's going to be bad. And I do not regret that decision, because I still don't know what people generally think about Batman Begins, but I very much enjoyed it, and I'm very excited to finish the Batman trilogy. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to post like a short reaction video, or like giving my thoughts on the movie each time that I finish a DC movie. So I'll do one for The Dark Knight, because that's what's next, I'm like 90% sure. And like I said, I don't think it's going to be too long, but I will do that. So getting into it properly, yes, I very, very much enjoyed this movie. I think the character of Bruce Wayne is a pretty likable guy. I thoroughly enjoyed him. Now the bad guy, well, I say bad guy because I don't know his actual name. The character Liam Neeson plays, I think, is a very, very good villain. You initially see him as, well, one of the good guys, and then Bruce like kind of turns on him at the start, and then comes back to bite him in the butt at the end. I thought that was really, really good. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I was actually surprised to see him alive at the end, and yeah, I thought that was really, really good. Again, I don't know what anyone else thinks, so I could be saying something very obvious or saying something very unpopular, but I thought the villain of this, the main one, was very, very good. The Scarecrow guy, again, don't really know his name, I thought that was cool. Obviously using like a panic toxin or something and putting on the mask to make people hallucinate. That was pretty cool. Obviously something that Batman's technology can't work too well against until he obviously found the antidote. So yeah, I really, really enjoyed it. The only thing that I thought before watching this movie that I do now is just, why bats? But I mean, I'm not really too bothered about it. I thought it was really cool the way that he acquired the Batmobile, his suit, and everything like that. I think it makes perfect sense. Before I watched this, I'd never seen anything about Batman other than the fact of like the prep time meme, that he's meant to be really good with prep time, and that's about it, and that he's just a normal person with a lot of money. So I'm very glad I watched this, because I know a lot more about the character of Bruce Wayne now, and like I said, I can't wait to watch the next two. If I had to compare it to like a Marvel movie, it's hard to do so, because like in terms of enjoyment, it's hard to do so because I've seen it for the first time, and all the Marvel movies I've watched many times over. But I would put it around the level of maybe Iron Man 1 or Captain America 1. I know people tend to like Iron Man 1 more than I do like it, but in terms of my enjoyment, I enjoyed it around the same as Captain America 1 and Iron Man 1. So yeah, I was really, really intrigued throughout the whole of the movie. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I can't wait for the rest of the Batman trilogy. Let me know what you thought about Batman Begins, like as of right now, when you first saw it or whatever. But yeah, I think that I could potentially be becoming a DC fan, because I really enjoyed the movie, like I said, and I am planning to watch all of them. I never thought that I would like sit here and make a video about DC and saying that I actually enjoyed it, because before I watched any of the DC movies, I was under the impression that DC movies focused more on the power of a character rather than the development of a character. But Batman Begins isn't quite like that. It goes completely against it. I think the development of the character of Bruce Wayne was fantastic. I really enjoyed all of the characters in this movie. I just thought it was so, so enjoyable. So yeah, if you were like me and you've never watched DC, I definitely recommend you watch Batman Begins because it is really, really good. But like I said, this was just a quick video giving my thoughts on the first proper like DC movie that I've watched. I know Aquaman is a proper DC movie, but that's like in the middle of the pack in terms of timeline order. So it didn't really count, and I only watched it just because it was on and it was meant to be good. I didn't even realize it was DC. So this is the first one that I've watched with the intention of watching more in the right order afterwards. So yeah, I've got another video coming later, giving my thoughts on the What If episode 1, because I didn't realise that had already dropped at all. I literally started watching it before I made this video. So yeah, I'm going to post this one literally straight away, and then in the evening sometime I'll have my thoughts on What If episode 1. So far I'm enjoying it, but yeah, thank you for watching. Like I said, let me know your thoughts on the Batman Begins movie, and yeah, goodbye.